Okay, we're going to go ahead and start the session. I'm hoping that all of you can see the desktop that I've shared. It's the Action Research Summit planning sheet that I sent to you by email. I have left all the information on there the same as we had it for the promising practices, but we'll take a look at it and see who wants to change positions or change what they're going to be doing for the Action Research Summit on April 27th. So that's going to be the main focus of our meeting today. That's why it was so important that everyone join so that you have this information. I am recording the session, but sometimes it's a little bit difficult to share once we recorded it, but we'll certainly try to do that for those that had other things that caused them not to be able to join the session today. So for those of you that are joining, thank you. If you would, mute your microphone for right now, and then when you have something to say, just unmute it. That prevents any background noise from being distracting as we go through the session. So our Action Research Summit is coming up on April 27th at the Expo Center in Pikeville, and our Student Senate members did such a good job at leading the conference in the fall, and we're looking very much forward to them leading again at this conference here in the spring. So if you'll notice at the top of the sheet, we have the hashtag ARI Action 216. So I want to make sure that everybody writes that down and shares that with
I don't want to interrupt, but it's not on my screen.
You're not seeing it?
And it's not on Bree's, so I just wanted to bring that up.
All right. I'm glad you stopped me and let me know that, and I will see what I can do here to make it happen. Okay, it was working fine.
I know it worked. Okay, there it is.
Is it there now?
Yes, it is.
Okay, super. All right, so you see the hashtag ARI Action 216. That's what we want you to use all throughout the day. If you're tweeting or taking pictures.
Hey, Kelly, I'm sorry. It's just 16. Sorry.
Oh, not 216. Thank you, Tanya. That's why we want everybody on here. I'll make that edit and send that back out. I jotted in my notes yesterday, 2016. So, all right, ARI Action 16 is what we'll use. And you'll see that all around the arena as well as on the program booklet. All right, so I'm going to start out down at the bottom with stage speakers, and I've got these two names at the top, Ashley Bergman and Jamison Coleman. Ashley is from Knott County, and Jamison is from Pike County. And so Ashley spoke on stage last time, and then Jamison had another job. But I'm going to scroll down to the bottom, and I'm going to ask for any volunteers that might like to speak as far as opening presentation and then some closing remarks. Do I have anybody that just wants to step up and volunteer? I know we've had some folks that have done some really outstanding work throughout the school year, whether it be on Work Ready Community or the Power Plus initiative, your trip to Frankfurt, the KYA group, those that were looking into economic development as far as community problem solving. We had lots of students doing really good work that I'd love for you to share or speak about from the stage that morning when we welcome folks to the Action Research Summit, then as well as a closing. If I don't have any volunteers, I may have to do some recruiting, and it's okay, but everyone will have a job that day, so being a stage speaker is just one of those. Okay, doesn't sound like we have anybody jumping up to volunteer, so we'll work that out. All right, I'm going to scroll back to the top, And each of these sessions are the sessions where teachers will be sharing their action research that they have conducted throughout the school year with the grant that they received. And these folks were facilitators in those sessions during the Promising Practices Summit. And I sent you a list of the facilitator cheat sheet that gave you specifically step-by-step what you're required to do when you're a facilitator in those sessions, as far as introducing the speaker, asking people to sign in, and there are going to be timers in the room, and you'll be watching to make sure that presenters don't exceed their time allotment, which is 10 minutes, and that's for setup, takedown, the whole presentation. Everything has to be done within a 10-minute time slot. So did anybody have that session last time that would like to change to something different this time? Okay, we'll scroll on down to hall monitors. Now, I will say this. What happened
This is Vern. I want to add one thing about the sessions. It is so important that when they commit to being there for that session, that they are there.
Kelly, this is Crystal. Have you started yet?
Yes, we have. Have you not heard any of it, Crystal? Crystal? Vern, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Kel.
Okay, there might be something wrong with Crystal's computer.
She might be muted, or, that still wouldn't affect her if she...
Shouldn't, but go ahead and say what you were going to say, and I'll text her.
I want to stress to the children and the majority leaders how important it is that they are there when they commit to facilitating those sessions, because they're in charge of actually starting the session and keeping track of it and everything. And there were a couple last year that didn't show up, and we had to run and get someone off the floor, some of those students, to go up there and fill in. And that really puts us in a bind. So that is a commitment that they say they will do, and they need to follow through with that, So I just wanted to really stress that to them, how important it is that they're there and be there on time.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And also, student senate members, you're leaders in your school, you're leaders in your district. And so displaying those leadership characteristics that day is something that we all look forward to for you. So if there is a situation that you're not going to be able to be in the place that you had committed that you would be, contact myself or someone and let them know. Don't just not show up. Same thing for these virtual Senate meetings, and majority leaders are going to ask for your help in making sure that your students are where they're supposed to be, and making sure that you stay in contact with us, because we are depending on the Student Senate members to facilitate this Action Research Summit. Okay, moving down to the hall monitors. We had discussed yesterday there is quite a bit of noise in the hallways. Not that folks mean to be loud and disruptive, but they're just very interested in what's going on, and sometimes have conversations that are a little louder than they are aware of them being, and therefore is distracting during sessions. And last time we had some signs that students used, and got a little feedback from some of you that used those signs that thought that maybe there might be a different approach that we could take. So Bernadette had a really good idea yesterday in that we will have some posters available, and you hall monitor folks will put those posters up that just, provides a gentle reminder that sessions are going on. And here's the problem. The sessions only have curtains around them. If it were inside a cinder block room with a door, then you could be as loud as you want to be. But with curtains, that's not much of a sound barrier, and so it very quickly can be distracting. So we'll have some posters when you get there that morning. We'll give you those posters, and you can go ahead and put those up in various locations. We'll let you know where those are, or we may have the posters up for you. But in addition to that, we plan to have some business cards available that has the inquiry process on one side, but on the other side, it will say something along the lines of, we're glad you're inquiring, or we're glad you're using the inquiry method or whatever, but, something very gentle along the lines of, we have to keep the noise level at a very low level. We just need to keep it so that other folks will be able to hear what's going on. So we haven't really confirmed exactly what those business cards will say on the back. We do know we want the inquiry process on the front. So if any of you Student Senate members have a gentle suggestion for noise control, email that to me, and we will certainly take that into consideration. Okay, moving on down, we had the Daily Show with Ron Daly and Emily Parsons, Kelsey Cole, and Olivia Burchett. They bragged on what a good job you girls did at the Promising Practices Summit as far as going to get the teachers and making sure they were there and getting the interviews going, helping to get the microphones on and the sound going. And so unless you have any recommendations for an alternative location, I thought we would just leave you girls right there with that. In addition to that, Willa Johnson does some video production of some sort. Willa, if you're on and you want to speak about that, you're more than welcome. And then Tanya had recommended yesterday that maybe some of the Student Voice members might like to assist Willa there with the video production. Okay. Tanya, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. Is Willa available? Is she on with us or no?
I'm not sure.
Okay, that's fine. It's okay. I just didn't know if you girls wanted to add anything there or not. But anybody go ahead.
Here's Willa. Hi.
Hi, Willa. Yeah, just thought that you might want to share what exactly goes on at your video production table, and I'm sure the students that are there with the Daily Show, as well as maybe if one or two more might be interested, and if they find themselves with some free time, they would be available to assist.
Yeah, so we're going to have a media table in the arena this time. So sort of where we broadcast from the Daily Show will be a few sections down. And so we'll have a table and some bleachers there. And we're going to have 2 students in each room filming that day. And we're going to have a group of students who are going to be able to help check the live stream, make sure that there's audio and visual coming through. Whenever that comes down, you'll sort of check that room, make sure it's up and going. And we'll also have a computer up for you to take cameras out, take some pictures, come back, and we'll put them on the computer and share out for part of the social media that day. And so if anyone wants to help run cameras, photography cameras, or if you want to help make sure the live stream is up and going and help do checks with each room, you're more than welcome to sign on and help with that part of it.
Okay, thank you, Willa. And what happened is sometimes our noise control folks could kind of double dip, if you would, because it's not like a full-time job. I know last year, I think Matthew, if I'm not mistaken, was had that position, and it just kind of, you're just kind of walking around, standing around, so it would be just as easy for you to have a camera in your hand and capture anything interesting that you might, oh, you know what, I think it was Matt Miller that, the ones with the vendors, Matt, Susanna, and Carly. I had you all last time with vendors. Brianna Fannin is going to be working with those vendors this time. So, really, Matt and Susanna are both seniors, and I'd really like to move them over to the speech section, but I'll confirm that with them before I just throw them in there. But Carly and Susanna and Matt for right now, or anyone that's interested in helping with vendors, let me just say we plan to have some special guests there that day that may just be attending for their first time, whether it be publicly elected officials or folks from the Kentucky Department of Education, or maybe some people from the U.S. Department of Education. But what we would like to do is just extend a welcome to them and maybe just give them a quick tour of the arena and explain what happens during the day, make sure that they've got a program book, let them know where the food and water is and the restrooms, and just any way that you can help them or assist them throughout the day. We would like to do that for our special guests, as well as when vendors are coming in, then in the off time to make sure with Brianna that the vendors have their items brought in and they're set up. But that's just a morning thing. So really those ushers and vendors could also help with the cameras and so on. So just keep that in mind and let me know if any of that really interests someone or sounds like something that you would really want to do, and I'll make sure that I get you on the list. Okay, so student Senate table set up. We have Ryan Crum, Allie Spencer, and Zach Iserman. And on here it says after you get the posters up and the vendors set up, then you can help the noise patrol, but it's not necessarily posters. What we're going to have this time, and I'm going to go ahead and take that off there, because this time we're going to have students all around the arena floor. So Ryan, Allie, and Zachary, or any of the other vendor folks that are available that morning, when students are bringing their supplies in, there will be tables around the arena floor with the names of the student groups on those